Welcome to C Programming, and this is Kumar Swami Dapa from SRR Government Polytechnic College, Srila. And today we are going to discuss about the operators like conditional and increment decrement operator, conditional operator and increment decrement operator. So the learning outcome of today's session is, so after completion of this session, a student will able to know what is a conditional operator and the difference between conditional operator and if else statement. Then the increment and decrement operators available in C programming, along with the example programs on increment decrement operator and conditional operator. Okay, so these are the learning outcomes of this today's session. Okay, now coming to the conditional operator. The conditional operator is also known as a ternary operator. Here, the conditional operator is also called as a ternary operator. Okay, the conditional statements are decision making statements which depends on the output of the expression. So, generally, the conditional statements consist some expression based on the result of that expression. Uh, uh, the conditional statements execution sequence depends. Okay, so the sequence of these conditional statements execution may vary based on the result of these uh, decision making statements. Okay, now here the conditional operator is represented with two symbols. One is the question mark symbol and another is the colon symbol. So this question mark and colon symbol are the uh, two symbols we are using in the conditional operator. Okay, so the conditional operator works on three operands. Conditional operator is works on three operand. That's why we are calling it as a ternary operand. Ternary operator. Ternary means three. Ternary means three. Okay, ternary operator means it includes three operands, and that particular expression it consisting of three operands. Okay, so for example, here the operators are of binary operators, unary operators, and ternary operators. So now I am going to give a little bit overview on these type of operators. Okay, so in a unary operators, unary operators are there, and binary operators are there, and at last ternary operators are also available. Okay, so these are the three kinds of operator. In the unary operator, for example, a plus plus. So here plus plus is an operator. This operator is included with only one operand. That operand name is a. So if the operator is in that particular expression, if the operator is included with only one operand, then those are called unary operators. Unary operator. So here plus plus is an unary operator. Coming to the binary, for example, a plus b. So a plus b, here plus is the binary operator because binary means two. Here a and b are the two operand. So for plus operator we have two operands. So that's why this plus operator we are calling it as a binary operator. So not only place, all the arithmetic operators are binary operators. All the arithmetic addition, subtraction, multiplication and division operators are called these binary operators. And now coming to the ternary operators. So ternary means, so it includes three operands. Three operands. If an expression consisting of three operands, then that expression we are calling it as a ternary expression. and operators that are associated with these three operands are called ternary operators. Ternary operators. So here question mark E question mark. So E1 question mark E2 colon E3. Okay, so here E1, E2, E3 are called operands. Three operands. E1, E2, E3 are the three operands. So these three operands are connected with the help of these two operators, question mark and colon. So that's why this kind of expression called ternary expression, and the operators question mark and colon are called ternary operators. Okay, so getting the point. So that's why uh, we are calling this a conditional operator works on three operands. If any expression or anything, any operators that are associated with three operands, then those are called ternary operators. Okay, and so we are calling ternary operator or conditional operator, both are same. Ternary operator, conditional operator, both the names are same. Okay, so no need to worry or confuse. Okay, and next the behavior of this conditional operator is similar to if else statement. The behavior of a conditional operator is same as the like if else statement. Okay, so if else statement is also a decision making statement. If else statement is also a decision making statement. Okay, so if else statement is a decision making statement. Same conditional operator is also a decision making statement. Okay, it works same as if else statement. Okay, now so here is an syntax of this conditional operator. Expression 1 question mark, expression 2 colon, expression 3. Okay, so this expression 1, expression 2, expression 3, both 3 are the operands and question mark colon are the operators. So we are calling this as a ternary operator. Ternary operator, 3 operands are there. Okay, so this is the control flow of the conditional operator, a ternary operator. So here expression 1 question mark, expression 2 colon, expression 3 is there. So how the C compiler is going to perform this expression evaluation is, first of all it performs the evaluation of this expression 1. The expression 1 going to return either true or false. If the expression 1 returns true, then it is moved to expression 2. It is moved to expression 2. If the expression 1 is true, then it is moved to expression 2. And it evaluates the expression 2. That expression 2 result is become the value of this particular variable that is available at the left side. Okay. For example, and in that case, this expression 3 is not evaluated. Okay. If the result of this expression 1 is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated and the result of this expression 2 is assigned to the left hand side variable, and expression 3 is not evaluated. Okay. For example, if the result of this expression 1 is false, then it is moved to expression 3. It is moved to expression 3 and expression 3 is evaluated. Expression 3 is evaluated and the result of this expression 3 is assigned to this variable available at the left hand side. Okay, result of this expression 3 is assigned to variable and expression 2 is not evaluated. Expression 2 is not evaluated. So are you getting the point? So based on the result of this expression 1, it may evaluate either expression 2 or expression 3. If the result of this expression 1 is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated, and the result of expression 2 is assigned as a result of this entire expression. If the result of expression 1 is false, then expression 3 is evaluated, and the result of this expression 3 is the result of this entire expression. Okay, so are you getting the point? Right? So for example, pass status of a student. Okay, pass status of a student. If the marks getting by the student is greater than 35, if a student gets the marks greater than 35, if it is greater than or equals to 35, right, then pass within double quotes. Okay, colon within double quotes, fail. Now in this case, so this m greater than or equals to 35 is one expression 1, and pass is expression 2, and fail is expression 3. So what's happening is past status, if you want to know the past status of a particular student, then read the marks of that particular student and check whether he is getting more than 35 or 35 or more than marks or not. If it is true, then if the expression 1 is true, then it is moved to expression 2, and here we are writing simply the string pass. So that pass is assigned to this PS. So pass status is equals to pass. For example, the student is getting 20 marks, then 20 is greater than or equals to 35 is false, right? So in that case, it is moved to expression 3. So it is not evaluating expression 2, and fail is directly assigned to the here PS is equals to fail. Okay, so like this, we are checking the conditions and performing the operations with the help of a conditional operator. Okay, so with this example, I conclude that you are now somewhat familiar with the how the flow is happening in the ternary operator or conditional operator. Okay, now coming to the behavior. Sorry. Now in the above syntax, the expression 1 is a Boolean condition that can be either true or false. Okay, so in this case, this expression 1 is a must be a Boolean condition. So the Boolean condition returns either true or false. Boolean condition returns either true or false. Okay, true or false. Okay, now if it is true, expression 2 will be evaluated. If it is false, expression 3 will be evaluated. Okay. Now, if the expression 1 is if the expression 1 result into true value, then expression 2 is will be executed. If expression 2 is said to be true only when it is returns a non-zero value. Expression 2 is said to be true if the results if it results a non-zero value. If the expression 1 returns false, then the expression 3 will be executed. The expression 3 is said to be false only if it returns zero value. Okay, so like this. Here expression 1 must be a Boolean condition. Coming to the expression 2 and expression 3, it may or may not be a Boolean statement. It may be anything. It may be a normal statement, or it may be an arithmetic statement, it may be a string statement, print statement, or whatever it is. Okay, now let us understand this ternary or conditional operator. Sorry, let us understand this ternary or conditional operator with an example. Okay, hash include stdio.h. So here stdio.h is a standard input output header file. It contains all the functions related to input output. Okay, So we are using in this program printf and scanf function. These two are belongs to this stdio.h header file. Okay, now I am writing the main function. The return type of main function is an integer. So if it is an integer, then we must return, at last we must return something. Either we return some value, or in the worst case we must return the 0. So I am included with return 0. Okay, now in this program I want to check whether a particular person is eligible for a vote or not, which he is eligible for voting or not. So in general, we can say that if the person is having 18 years and or above, 18 or above years, then we can say that he is eligible to vote, cast his vote, her vote. Okay, if the candidate is having less than 18 years, means they are not eligible to vote, right? So that can be explained here. Int age, so I am using a variable age of integer type to know the age of the candidate person. Okay, so printf enter your age. So what it is happening is, in the screen the printf statement is going to print this text, enter your age. So enter your age. Okay, so after seeing this message, what is happening is user is going to give some input, right? So that can be read with the help of this scanf function. So here scanf percentage d age. So inside the scanf it is expected to receive one integer from the user. So the cursor is blinking here until it receives some input. Okay, for example, if user is giving an input as 19, so that 19 is stored at a memory location address of age. So age is a variable of integer type, so it can accommodate to integer values or integer constant. So 19 is an integer constant, right? So now the age becomes 19. Now in the next statement, what we are doing, so here we are writing a ternary expression, right, by the help of ternary operator. So this is an expression one. Whatever the thing or statement that are appear preceded with the question mark, they are comes under expression one, and in between question mark and colon whatever we are writing, that is expression two, and after the colon and before the question semicolon whatever we are writing, that is comes under expression three. Okay, now expression one, here expression in this expression one, what we are doing, age greater than or equals to 18. So what we are doing, age greater than or equals to 18. So greater than or equals to 18 is a relational operator, right? So it checks whether age is greater than or equals to 18 or not. If it is greater than or equals to 18, then it returns true. Otherwise it returns false, right? So greater than or equals to is a relational operator to check the relation between the left hand side with the right hand side values. Okay, so 19, age is replaced with the 19. Now 19 is greater than or equals to 18. So compiler is checking 19 is greater than or equals to 18. Yes, it is true. So if it is true, then what it is happening, if the expression result of the expression 1 is true, then it is moved to expression 2. It won't move to expression 3. So now in the expression 2, what we are doing, printf eligible for voting. So what this printf function will do, it prints the the text whatever present in the double quotes on the screen. So eligible for voting, right? So it displaying a message, you are eligible for voting, right? If you are executing the same program by giving an input as some 10 years or 17 years, so what it is happening, so here 17 is greater than or equals to 18 is checking in the expression one place. So 17 is not greater than or equals to 18, so it is failed the condition, it returns the false. Then it is directly moved to expression 3. It won't move to expression 2. So what's happening in expression 3, printf not eligible for voting. So it is going to print not eligible for voting. Okay, not eligible for voting. So like this, so here what you need to understand is, so we are already having some knowledge on if else statements, right? So what is happening in if? So if condition is checking here, and true black will be there with some statement, then after else a false black will be there, right? So here also expression 1 is the condition checking that will be available here if a condition. So in case of if else statement, it will evaluate the condition whatever what is specified in the if statement after the if statement. If the result of this expression 1 is true, then this true black will be executed. So this is the true black. If the result of this expression 1 is false, then this false block will be executed, that is else block. Okay, the same concept is here. This is the condition checking, and this is the true block, and this is the false block. So based on the result of this expression 1, it may execute either expression 2 or expression 3. Okay, true block or false block. Okay, so there is a the sim right. So this is the similarity between the conditional or ternary operator or expression with a if else statement. Okay, now uh, in the above code we are taking input as age of the user, right? So we are taking input as age of the user here. Enter your age, and the age is stored in the variable age, right? So after taking the input, we have applied the condition by using a conditional operator, right? So in this condition we are checking the age of the user. If the age of the user is greater than or equals to 18 or not. If the age of the user is greater than or equals to 18, then the statement 1 will be executed, right? So statement 1 is nothing but printf eligible for voting. So it is printing the message eligible for voting. If the age of the user is greater than or equals to 18 is wrong, means if the age of the user is less than the 18, then the statement 2 will be executed, right? So statement 2 is nothing but printf not eligible for voting. So it is going to print you are not eligible for voting. So in this way we can use the conditional expression, right? So these several lines of code are combined into a single line of code, right? Single line of code. Now, so here is another example. So in this example, what we are doing is hash include stdio.h, right, into main. So this is the main function. Then int a equals to 5 comma b. So these are the variable declaration statements, right? So we are declaring two variable a and b, and then we are assigning the value 5 to the variable a, right? So we are not only we are performing declaration, we are also assigning the value to variable a only. Then I am assigning b with some value. That value is based on the result of this ternary expression or conditional operator, conditional expression. Okay, so here I am using the conditional operator. So a is equals to 5 question mark 3 question mark 2. Now b is equals to a is equals to 5 or not. So we are checking. Then we are writing 3 colon 2. So here what is happening? This is the expression 1, right? So before the question mark and after this equal, whatever we are writing, that is comes under expression 1. So this is expression 1, and in between question mark and colon expression 2, right? And after the colon and semicolon, before the semicolon, whatever we are writing, that is the expression 3, right? So in the conditional operator, what we are doing, how the program execution is happening, and how the conditional expression is going to evaluate it. It first check the expression 1. it evaluates the expression 1 condition. If the result of this expression 1 is true, then it is moved to expression 2. If the result of expression 1 is false, it is moved to expression 3, right? So this is true and this is false. So here, what is the value of A? A is assigned with value 5. If 5 is equals to 5, yes, 5 is equals to 5, true. So if it is true, then it is moved to expression 2. What is the expression 2? 3. This 3A is the result of this entire statement. 3 is the result of this entire statement. Now 3 is replaced here. So what it is happened? B is equals to 3. Now the value of B variable is percentage B. B value is 3. 3 is replaced here. The output is the value of B variable is 3. Okay. So are you getting the point? For example, if we are assigning the value of A is 6 here, 6. Now what it is happening? 6 is equals to 6 is equals to 5? No. So in that case, the condition is false. Then this expression 2 is not evaluated. It is moved to expression 3 and it returns 2. Now the value of B variable is 2. Okay. So like this, the program execution will be happen. Okay. Now it's time to discuss about the difference between this conditional operator and if else statement. Okay, so now the conditional operator is a single programming statement, right? The conditional operator is specified in a single line here. So this is a single line of code in this program, and in the previous program here also this is a single line of code. Okay. So conditional operator is a single line of statement, while the if else statement is a programming block in which statements comes under the parentheses, right? So if some condition and open close curly brace, so it consisting of several statements, then else open curly brace, several statements and close brace. So these are the, this is the false block and this is the true block. A block contains a set of it may contains one or more number of statements. A block contains one or more number of statements. So here one or more number of statements are there and here also one or more number of statements are there. Means, so if else block a statement consisting of some number of statements, they are compulsorily more than one. Coming to the conditional operator, it is written, we are returning in the single line of code, right? And we are a conditional operator can also be used for assigning value to the variable, whereas if else statement cannot be used for assigning purpose. So in this program I am trying to assign some value to variable B. I am assigning some value to variable B, some value to variable B. So this cannot be happen with the help of a if else statement. Okay. Now third difference, it is not useful for executing the statements when the statements are multiple. So it is not useful for executing the statements when the statements are multiple, whereas if else statement proves more suitable when executing multiple statements. So multiple statements execution cannot be possible or somewhat complex in case of conditional operator, and more friendly in case of if else statement. And the fourth or last difference between the conditional operator and if else statement is the nested ternary operator is more complex and cannot be easily debugged. Okay, so if you are using the ternary operators, nested ternary operators means the ternary operator within another ternary operator, so that is somewhat more complex. Okay, whereas if else statement is easy to read and maintain. So nested if else statements are more easy to understand and write the codes and understand the code easily. Okay, so we can easily write and understand the nested if else statements easily compared with the nested ternary operators. Okay, so these are the differences between the conditional operator and if else statement. Okay, now it's time to discuss another kind of uh, operator. They are increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. So here the increment and decrement operators. Two operators. Increment operator is represented with plus plus and the decrement operator is represented with minus minus. Increment operator is represented with a plus plus and the decrement operator is represented with a minus minus. Uh, we are using these increment and decrement operators to change the value of an operand by 1. So here the operand may be a constant or a variable. So what we are doing is we are trying to change the value of the operand by 1. Means if you are performing increment operation, you are trying to increase the value by 1. If you are performing the decrement operation, you are trying to decrease the value by 1. So like this, we are using the increment and decrement operator. Okay, so here increment plus plus increases the value by 1, whereas decrement decrease the value by 1. Okay, now, so are you getting the point? So we can use either increment or decrement operators. Increment operator is increase the value by 1. Decrement operator is decrease the value by 1. So these two operands are unary operators. As I already told you while discussing the ternary operators, right? So we have unary operators, binary operators and ternary operators are there. Unary operators means they are having only one operand. So they are the operator surrounded with only one operand, then they are calling it as unary. The operator surrounded with two operands, they are binary operators. If the operators operands are operators surrounded with the three operands, they are ternary operators, right? So here, so these two operators means this increment and decrement operators are unary operators. So they only operate on single operand. So we cannot perform the increment decrement operator for more than one variable at a time. So we can perform this increment or decrement operator on a single variable. So that's why we are calling this increment and decrement operators are the unary operators. Okay. Now, now here is an example. Perform this increment decrement operators, how to use this increment decrement operators. Okay, so here, so we know that hash include stdio.h is the we are including the header files. So this is the header file section, we are including the header files, right? Then void main, this is the starting point of the program execution, right? So after executing this statement, so the first line of code will be executed into a equals to 10 and b equals to comma b equals to 100. So here you need to understand one thing, comma, here we are using comma. So this comma is an operator, comma is one operator in C programming. So we are using comma operator to separate the related operands, or to separate the expressions, or to separate the related ones. Okay, as a separator. So here a and b are the related one. Why? Because this a and b are of integer data types. So these integer data types are separated with the help of a comma. Okay, so after execution of this particular statement, what is happening in the computer memory? The computer memory is divided into several blocks. Let us assume each and every block is associated with 1 byte of memory. Okay, like this. So here a and b are integers types. So the memory required for this a and b is 2 bytes, right? So memory required for A is 2 byte and memory required for B is 2 byte because they are of integer type. So for example, so these are the two blocks reserved for variable A, and these are the another two blocks reserved for variable B. So in these memory locations they are going to store 10 and 100. So here value 10 will be stored and here value 100 will be stored. Now the value of A and B are 10 and 100 respectively. Okay, so are you getting the point? So after execution of this statement, a memory will be reserved for variable A and B of 2 bytes individually. Then in that memory location they are going to store the value 10 and 100. Next, float C equals to 10.5 and D equals to 100.5 is there. Okay, so let us extend something. For float variables, we require 4 bytes of memory. So for example, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these 4 locations are reserved for a variable C, and these 4 locations are reserved for variable D. So it is going to store 10.5 and it is going to store 100.5. Okay. So after execution of these statements, a memory will be reserved or allocated by the C compiler to the variable C and D, and it stores 10.5 and 100.5 as values. Okay, then the next statement is a printf statement. So the next all the 4 statements are printf statements. Okay, so we are using printf statements to print the text or output on the screen or terminal. So for example, this is our screen. Okay, so here printf plus plus a is equals to percentage d slash n plus plus a. So whatever that is written in between the double quotes are generally printed on the screen. So plus plus a is equals to is printed first. Then this percentage d is a integer format specifier. So this percentage d is replaced with an integer value that is available in the variable a. Okay. So now, okay, slash n is the new carriage line. So it is going to move the cursor to the next line. Okay. So now what the value is replaced here in the place of percentage d. So here plus plus a means, so uh, it won't result the value of a. It result the value of a by increasing 1. So plus plus a means, so it increase the value of a by 1 means it is the already existed value of a is increased by 1 means the already existed value of a is 10. So that 10 is increased by 1. So 10 becomes 11. Now the value of a is 11. Okay. That 11 is moved here and 11 is replaced in the place of percentage d. Now plus plus a becomes 10. So the actual value of a is 10. Whenever we perform plus plus a, it becomes 11 means 10 plus 1 becomes 11. So it increases the value of a by 1, the already existed value of a by 1. Okay, now coming to the next printf statement, minus minus b is equals to percentage d. So this is replaced here. So this is a decrement operator we are using. All right, minus minus b. So minus minus b is nothing but what? B is equals to b minus 1. So it decrease the already existed value of b by 1. So here plus plus a means a equals to a plus 1, right? A is equals to a plus 1. A equals to a plus 1. And minus minus means b is equals to b minus 1. The value existed value of b is 100. So 100 minus 1. So 100 minus 1 becomes 99. So the now the new value of b becomes 99. So this 100 is replaced with a 99. Okay, now so minus b is equals to 99. Okay, are you getting the point? Now plus plus c is equals to percentile f, right? So what is plus plus c? I already told you the value of the already existed value of c is increased by 1. So the already existed value of c is 10.5. So 10.5 is increased by 1 means 10.5 plus 1 becomes 11.5. So that 11.5 is displayed here. In the similar way, minus minus d, minus minus is a decrement operator. It is going to decrease the already existed value of d by 1. So 100.5 minus 1 means 99.5. So 99.5 will be become the value of d. Okay. So in this way we can perform the increment and decrement operation. Okay. So now this is about today's session. Now it's time to move for practical. Now I am trying to explain these increment decrement operator and quaternary operator with the help of programs. Okay, so now I am first explaining about the uh, increment and decrement operator. Right. So I am writing some comment lines to know about this particular program. What is the aim of the program, or so aim, right? Hash include stdio.h, right? So I'm writing this for to include the standard input output header file in our program, as we are already using, right? So I mean I'm declaring a variable a, and now I am assigning the value of a variable a with some 5. Now I am printing the value of a is equals to, now I am performing increment operation. Now I am trying to print the value of a. In the same way I am trying to now I am assigning the value of a with some another value. Then I am performing decrement operation here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Now let us stop our program. Stop to write the program. So now, so this is the actual program. Now let us understand what is happening. I am compiling the program, so getting some error here. Sorry, conavo.h, 0 errors, and executing the program, and let us see the output 567. So how this is happening, how it is printing 567. So a value, initial a value is 5, so it is printing 5. Then a plus plus 5 becomes 5 plus 1 6, it is going to print 6. Now the value of a becomes, now it becomes 8. Minus minus means the value of a 8 is decreased by 1, so 8 minus 1 means 7. Now the value a value is printing, that is 7. So this can be understandable easily by executing the program in line by line with the help of this window watch button. I am assigning variable a. Now I am hitting the F7 functional key to execute the program line by line. Compiling the program. So after hitting the F7, go to watch, right? Now, so I'm hitting the F7. So what it is happening is, so it executes this particular line of code. So after executing this particular line of code, so a is declared, means a is a variable a is created, and initially here I am not assigning any value to variable a. So by default it is going to assign with some garbage value. Garbage value means any value in between some positive negative numbers. Okay. So minus 2 power 32 minus 1 to 1 minus 2 power 32 minus 1, in that range. So it is have send some value randomly, so that value is 875. Now I am at this line, so now I am trying to execute this highlighted line by pressing the F7. So after execution of this line of code, a value becomes 5, so that can be, you can see in the watch window, a is 5. Now I am trying to print the value of a. So for that I am executing this statement F7. So printf statement is executed. So you can watch that with the help of Alt F5. So here again second time it is printing. So let us change some with a clear screen function, so that you can clearly observe. Okay, and again I am compiling the program. I am hitting the F7 key, and then opening the watch window, right? So I am trying to execute the main function, and I am trying to execute the int a statement. So a is assigned with 856. In the previous case it is assigned with some another value like 850 or 855. Now it is assigned with 856. Okay, now I am hitting the F7. Now a becomes 5. Clear screen. So what it is happening after execution of this CLR SCR function, you can I am opening the output window. So in the previous case, after opening this output window, it is displaying a equals to 5, 6, 7 and a equals to 5 like that. Now it is not displaying anything, means all that is erased. Okay, now I am hitting the F7 key, means this printf statement is executed. So you can check with the help of this output window. Now a becomes 5, right? Now again I am hitting the F7 key. F7 key means a plus plus is executed. The value of already existed a value is 5. 5 plus plus means 6. So you can see in the watch window. I am printing that value. So you can see in the output window a equals to 6. And again hitting the F7 key. Okay, a equals to 8 is executed. So 8 will be displayed here. And I am trying to uh, perform a decrement operation, right? So it is not assumed. I am moving up with the actual code right now. So after 8, a minus minus will be executed. So that's why 8 minus 1 becomes 7. Now I am trying to let us see the output window. It only displays a equals to 5 and a equals to 6, right? I am hitting the F7 key. Okay, so after hitting the F7 key, so it will move to end of the program. So printf statement will be executed, so that we can see in the output window a equals to 7 will be displayed, right? Now I am hitting the F7 key one more time. sorry. So in this way, you can execute the program any number of times. Sorry, it is program system is stuck. It is not responding. So I'm trying to wait. Sorry, yes, it is responding now. So I'm switching to full screen mode, right? So now I am hitting F7. Oh, sorry, still it is not responding properly. Okay, now I am trying to close this watch window. Okay, I'm hitting the F7 key one more time and opening the uh, watch window. So A is undefined and hitting the F7. A is assigned with some garbage value 856. Now A becomes 5. Clear screen. So output screen will be erased, right? And again hitting F7. So A plus plus is going to execute. Now A becomes 6. Printing the F. So you can see 5 and 6 are printed. And A is assigned with value 8, right? So A minus minus A becomes 7, right? Printing the 7. So you can see in the output window, right? So in this way, you can observe how what is happening with the increment decrement operators. Okay. Now another operator we have discussed the conditional operator, right? So now it's time to move for this conditional operator. File new. So I'm trying to write a void main. Now I want to read a marks of a student. Then I have to decide whether a student is pass or fail. Okay. So in that case, printf enter student marks. So I'm asking the program user to enter the marks of a student with the help of printf function, right? So that can be read with the help of this scanf function, right? Scanf address of marks. Now I am writing the ternary or conditional operator if right. So marks greater than or equals to 35. So what is happening if the marks is greater than or equals to 35? So means it is a pass. You are pass. So statement must terminate with semicolon, right? So that's why we need to surround it with the brackets. Okay. Now after colon we need I'm writing one more printf function, printf you are fail, right? So I'm ending the program and I'm trying to compile the program. 3 errors I'm getting. Sorry. Right. 0 errors. Enter student marks. 34. Alt F5. You are failed. So let us erase the previous output with the help of this clear screen function and try to get the output directly after execution of the program. Right. Enter student marks. 66. You are pass. Again one more time. Enter student marks. 22. You are failed. Right. So what is happening here? So this is the expression 1, right? So in the expression 1, we are checking the condition whether the marks of a student is greater than or equals to 35 or not. If the marks of the student is greater than or equals to 35, then it is moved to expression 2. In the expression 2, what is happening? So it is printing the message you are pass. Okay. For example, if the marks of a student is greater than or equals to 35, means this expression 2 will be evaluated and your pass message will be displayed on the screen. Okay. For example, if you are entering the marks of a student is 22. 22 is greater than or equals to 35. Is 22 greater than or equals to 35? No. Fail. So in that case, it is directly moved to third expression that is available after the colon. Right. So in the third expression, printf your fail statement is going to execute. So that's why it is giving the output you are fail. Okay, so not only this, you can also write these printf statements. So instead of writing the printf statement, for example, now I want to check. So I want to check the grade of that particular student. Okay, so how can we check if the marks of student is greater than or equals to, for example, 60. If the given marks are greater than or equals to 60 means he is in first class. You are secured first class, colon, right? Again one more printf statement, right? In that printf statement what you are writing? You are second class. You are getting second class or simply second class. And here first class. Okay. Now I am compiling the program. Zero errors. Executing the program. Enter student marks. For example, student marks are 77. You are first and first class. So and both the strings are displayed in the single line. Now I am trying to use this slash n. Slash n. Slash n. Right. Now I am using slash n for new line purpose. Okay. So now I am trying to execute the program one more time, right? So enter student marks. I am giving 88. You are pass and secure the first class. For example, executing one more time and I am giving 20 marks or 22 marks. So you are fail and so here we are checking for first and second class only. Okay, so we are not checking for third class or fail. So at that time, what we need to do is greater than or equals to 60 is enough for first class. But less than 60 means it may be 35, it may be 40 or it may be 5 marks. All are less than 60. So that can be checked here. So that can be done. In the expression 3, I am trying to write one more ternary expression. In expression 3, I am going to write one more ternary expression that marks greater than or equals to 35. So if marks greater than or equals to 35, what it is happening? Printf second class. So if the marks are not greater than or equals to 35 means what it is happening? You need to the student is fail, right? So printf fail. Fail or we are already written that statement, right? So if he is pass or fail, right? So here no need to print anything, right? Now I am compiling the program and executing the program, and it is asking about the student marks 77. So pass and first class, and again one more time I am entering the marks as 2. So you are fail simply, right? So in this way you can nest one conditional statement or a ternary statement within another ternary statement. Okay, so like this you are try to execute the programs like uh, uh, a student a person is eligible for uh, eligible to cast the vote or not. Okay, check student attendance percentage, whether he is in promotion or demotion, or whether he is in condonation or detention or promotion. So like this you can perform write the codes. Okay, so these are the few two assignments I am giving for conditional operators. And coming to the increment decrement operator, you can perform any one of the code that we have discussed here. So you may be write you may try to execute this code, or you can use the code written in the practical session. Okay, so this is about conditional and increment decrement operators. So thank you for watching the video. Thank you for your patience, and thank you. So this is about today's session.